Hello and welcome to the 2010 Susan G. Komen Nashville Affiliate Showcase. We're here in Franklin, Tennessee at Healthways Studios. I'm Jason Nelson from the Spot Marketing Group, and here today is a select panel of local volunteers and survivors. To my left, we have Hayden McWhorter, Deb Enright, Tracy Shelby, and Jennifer Sear. Well, let's start with you, Hayden. Why don't you talk about your history with Komen and your involvement with the race and a little bit what you do?
I've been involved on committees for the last 3 years. So year before last, I was part of a committee that did 3 miles of men. It was an effort to get men involved, lining the sides of the race to support the women coming through. Last year, I was one of the co-chairs, which made me responsible for helping the operational support of the race, getting the race moving, making sure we're meeting our deadlines and doing the things we needed to do. And this year, I have the same role. So it's really exciting. It's fun. I have a long history, unfortunately, with breast cancer. My mother passed away in '95, and I lost my wife in 2007. So this was a way for me to get involved and try to give back. I have 2 little girls, and so I'm trying to. I actually have 3 little girls now. I just recently got married, and so I have a bunch of women in my life, and I want to make sure they don't have to go through this. The race is an opportunity for folks to get together to raise money to support different types of treatments and things like that in our communities. What's interesting about the money that's raised is most of the money goes to our corporate office, but then comes right back to Middle Tennessee in the forms of grants to different organizations to support mammograms, to support well-being assessments and things like that. So it's a great opportunity to have everybody together to raise the money.
Jennifer, tell us a little bit about your personal history.
Well, I was diagnosed with the Big Bad C in 2006 at the age of 27, and went through hell and back, and I'm really happy to be here today to be able to share my story and to help build awareness, especially being diagnosed at a young age before my mom was, and I feel like it's very important to be able to remind other young women to check their breasts. You know, early detection can save your life, and we know that that's true. And anyway, as far as the race is concerned, it's just become kind of a way of life. You know, it's like it's like a holiday, really.
Deb, tell us about some things that you do to get ready for the race.
Sure. Well, I always knew about Komen. You seem to always know about it. But in terms of becoming, really active, I became a survivor and then was active. My cohort in a doctoral program at Vanderbilt said, we're going to do this. We're going to put our team together for you while I was in treatment. So that was just really lovely. And then you felt all of this warmth that you guys talked about. And then last year, one of our pastors was going through treatment, and you kind of become the resident expert. Right? Everything is different. It's very individual, the disease is, but because you've either lost your hair or whatever, so they call for, and to try to answer some questions for them, and she said, could you put a team together? It was so easy. And I think we've talked about, the different ways that you can do it, either on the internet or through phone calls, but the Komen is so well respected, and people love the race. It's so much fun. I mean, you have folks like Stacy put together terrific teams, and everybody's really just has a great, joyous time. And the ages from strollers to folks maybe in using walkers. I mean, it's a great community event. And so for me, putting the team together was so easy. It's not really fair to take credit. It really was one of the things that built itself, and it was really cool to be a participant, to also be a survivor, but then to also build a team. That was it's just a nice thing to do. It's a way to say thank you to people that were so supportive during your time.
The main way that we did our team and got them together was through email, and just all of our friends and family and even strangers that came together to support us when I was diagnosed. And we had a Caring Bridge website, and I think that's the first way we let everyone know that we had a team, and through phone calls and emails and such, and it was a no-brainer. I mean, everyone just started joining. I think it's really important for people to know that it's more than just that $35, oh, I'm going to go walk and get my T-shirt, that we encourage people, we want to encourage people to go beyond that and try to, for the individual, like not just be on my team so that my team can raise money, but so that the individuals that join my team, that they can raise money. And last year we had 2 women that they just wrote stories, their own personal experience of knowing me or how we met, just different neat stories that they would write and send out on email to other people. That's all they did. One woman raised over $1,500 and the other woman raised over $350 just by sending an email. And it's a great cause, and I personally have benefited from the research dollars and just the money that is granted here locally from Komen to other places. For example, the YMCA, that they have the ABC program, the After Breast Cancer Care, and it's just amazing what Komen does. And you know, I'm here because of the research dollars that have been spent and the clinical trials, right, and just everything, and we so appreciate that and want to continue making a world without, or having, you know, going towards a world without breast cancer.
And
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, there's something that Tracy said that I think is really important, is that the race is an expensive thing to put on. And so the $35 goes to, there is funding that goes into the grants for that, but we also have to buy the T-shirts, we have to handle supplies that we may have to purchase. There's things that we do have to pay for the race, so it's not all free. So it's really not the $35, it's above the $35 that makes a difference. Last year we went through and analyzed the teams and looked, because my team was very large last year, it was over 300 people, but really there was only a few people that had really gone above the $35 because they wanted to help and they wanted to get involved. But what we really need to try this year is get people to understand that it's after that $35, that's where we're really seeing the money to go to the grants. So I think it's important.
And how can people sign up?
Well, there's you can go to Komen-Nashville.org, and then there's links to the website there. We're broadcasting on Facebook now with ways to get to the race, so that's your vehicle into it.
Sometimes when folks see putting a team together or getting involved in the race, I think Komen, not that I've done it with other organizations, but if they made the template, every other organization should follow it. It is so simple. And small things like you can develop your own page, which for someone who's not technologically savvy, their eyes might glass over and say, well, I don't know how to do that. It is so simple. Putting testimony on or showing how much you've raised. You can have a scroll of who has contributed, so you can say, well, you know, if this person hasn't, maybe I can. Or I mean, you can do just so much, and it's so simple, and it's all right there. You don't have to create anything. It's all right there for you, which really makes it user friendly.
And this year, you can actually, when you create a team or start a team, you can put it on your Facebook so that all your friends all over the United States or all over the world can see and join as well and watch your goal, whatever you set as your goal for your team to raise funds for Komen that year. You can see it grow. It's really motivating, and it is very easy.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's great.
Cancer is becoming, breast cancer, I feel like we know so many people that are touched by it. You mentioned 1 in 8. Well, so many people, it's like it's more prevalent. Well, that's because we're aware. We're catching it early.
As these young people get breast cancer so young, we've got to continue this awareness that it's not a 40-year-old, a 30-year-old even, and 20-year-old. I mean, we need to get the young people more involved. And I think we're all touched by breast cancer somehow, whether you're a man or a woman or young or old. So to me, we really need to get that word out about the self-exams and mammograms and for people to know their bodies.
Just to kind of expound upon what you were saying, this is my first year volunteering, and I've just been utterly amazed by just how, from the sponsors, I mean, Healthways is, you know, we're filming here today. Everyone has been so welcoming with open arms to help out. What can we do, from media partners to volunteers, and it's been a very moving experience, and it's really kind of amazing. Hayden, can you talk about what you see the future of the race being? Take it today, take it a few years ago, and where do you think it's going to go from here?
Well, I hope it's much larger. I mean, it's amazing if you look back just the last few years, the money that was raised, the involvement by folks, and where we are. Last year, we probably had 20,000 people stuck inside Maryland farms. I think we raised $1.3 million somewhere in that area. We granted out, I'm trying to remember, somewhere between $600,000 and $900,000. Here at Healthways, we hosted an event where grantees were able to receive the big check, which is awesome. But I think for us, it's continuing to focus on getting people involved on the fundraising aspects of the race, knowing that numbers are important, but getting the fundraising piece is as much as important in education. So that's what we hope to see. This year, what's going to be different is instead of mailing out all the T-shirts, we're actually aligning with Brentwood to have a health fair. So you'll be able to pick up your T-shirts at this health fair, more like a marathon where you go early, you pick up over a couple of days. So I think that's something exciting too, getting the community a lot more involved and taking these different groups that have little pieces going on and bringing them together to form one big group.